this working? Everyone can hear me? All right, great. Yeah, I'm delighted to be out of Chicago for numerous reasons. The weather just being one of them. But thank you very much for all being here. It's a great crowd, and been gracious hosts here in Hilton Head. It's my first time in Hilton Head. We're here with our family, enjoying it in great ways. I think it's about 12 degrees where my home is right now. So this is very warm to us. Presenting, the presentation they heard me give in Philadelphia was geared more toward advocacy. I tailored this a little bit more towards small businesses and how you can use a lot of these online tools to build your brand, build your nonprofit, build your campaign, build whatever organization that you run. And I titled it The Press Releases Dad, and I get into a little bit more, mostly because it makes a lot of people really angry. Mostly people in the public relations profession. Not as angry as something else I touched on later in the presentation called Please Kill the E-Newsletter. If you want to light up your blog or your LinkedIn page with angry posts, post one of these two things and they yell at you. So I'll get into a little bit more and I couch a little bit as you can see. So I guess first of all, who is this guy? Who am I? Well, I'm from the windy city of Chicago, which actually got its name because of the political climate, not because of the weather. And I think that if any of you still pay attention to making national news, unfortunately, I do a little bit of politics, which is maddening. We were in Disney World just earlier this week, and Fantasyland in Disney World is more realistic than Chicago politics. We moved to Washington, D.C. a while back, about 2002, and worked on Capitol Hill, worked for a member of Congress, and then shifted my way over to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, where I worked at the U.S. Chamber Institute for Legal Reform. We dealt on legal reform issues and tort reform issues, so that probably makes a number of people in this room probably angry at me as well, so you can add that to the list. Then we moved back to good old Illinois, the rural town of Morris. That's the logo for the venerable Morris Grundy County Corn Festival. I could have picked a number of other fun pictures. It's funny, I gave this presentation in Chicago, and I had given it in Philadelphia, and I had given it in Washington, D.C., and then I gave it in downtown Chicago, and Morris is about 60 miles out, about an hour drive outside Chicago, and I forgot I was in Chicago, and I started to make light of Grundy County and make fun of Grundy County. Afterwards, a woman came up and said, "Oh, you know, I'm from Grundy County." So, is anyone here from Grundy County? And most importantly, I'm the World Series champion, Chicago White Sox. So, right now I run a firm, Merc Strategy Group. When I moved back from DC, started my own firm, and what we call ourselves a content company. We're not a web firm. A lot of people call us up and say, "I need a web guy." Well, we're not a web firm. I'm not very technologically literate at all. We're a content company. I started out as a traditional PR flag, working in a public relations firm, churning out press releases every single day. And when I started, I started back in college. We spent most of our day working on press releases. And I worked at a firm, which meant that the more time you spent on a press release, the more you could bill a client. And so many times I'd get a press release back from my boss that looked exactly like it was when I submitted it. But you'd submit it, and then your tool of choice was the phone or the fax machine. You'd send it out, and then you'd wait, and then you'd call, and things have changed. And I get into a little bit more, but that gets into kind of, I think it's important because it shows that where I'm coming from. I'm not, a web guy. I don't know coding. I don't know any of that. I'm a content person, which helps drive. This presentation is a little bit different than you may hear from some other social media gurus. And I don't consider myself